thoughts on that? I saw that you wanted to say something,
bro. Like, she was over there getting
Bro,
bro,
she is ready for this.
Okay.
You're ready for this, aren't you?
Okay, so go ahead and then we'll spin around the table.
She's having a seizure.
I don't really have anything to really negatively say because I feel like your opinion is your opinion. Yeah, no. But I just think, like he said, it's kind of needy because, like, why can't I go out with my homegirls for a week? No, you kind of passive aggressively well, she's not my girlfriend anymore if she does it. Okay, but why?
For every action
that seems annoying. Like, why can't I go out?
You can go out. You can do whatever it is you want to do, but I don't have to tolerate that behavior. Listen,
but what behavior is that? What kind of behavior is that?
Well, whatever behavior I feel I'm not going to tolerate.
But what are you not tolerating? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, I just listed it for you a little while ago. Bars and clubs.
Okay.
I don't commit to women who go to bars and clubs, who are friends with their exes, who are on social media, who travel alone. And any woman who has anything to do with me, if they have a problem with that, that's no problem. Like, I'm not trying to force any woman to do something that she doesn't want to do. But I think what a lot of women really have a problem with is that most men don't understand their value. My girlfriend is a beautiful woman. There are a lot of beautiful women, but there are a lot more of her than there are of me. And so that's what gives me the leverage.
But, like, what does your value have to do with her going to the club with her friends and having a good time? But that's what you just kind of connected it to.
Well, that's why she's more likely to stick around. Yeah, that's called a checkmate.
No, it's not, because I'm confused. That's why I'm looking.
There's nothing.
I'm also confused.
Yeah, like, what do you mean?
Let me clear up the confusion. The deal is this. It's not that I don't tell my girlfriend what she can and can't do, but for every action, there is a consequence. Most guys don't stand by their principles. These are my requirements. Not everybody agrees with them, and I've lost a lot of girls because of it. But this is how I live my life. And if a woman is going to be a part of my life and what I have to offer, then she is going to have to adhere to my requirements. If she doesn't want to do that, no problem. You can be single and everything is fine, but that's just what I require, and I'd never apologize for it.
Do you?
I think it's not. I don't think you need to necessarily take it in being this like horrendously like, oh my god, the male toxicity way, because like years ago I was seeing this girl, right, and this was many years ago before I learned a bit and became a bit more savvy, and she used to work in a restaurant. So she worked at this restaurant, and we were kind of living together at this point. She worked at this restaurant, and then she would go out with the other staff from the restaurant after work on the shift, and sometimes she'd be out till like 5, 6 in the morning.
She was getting piped.
She probably was getting piped.
Or doing hella blow.
Probably both.
Or both.
Probably both. But the point is this. So I found that obvious, as you can imagine. I found that whatever you want to call it, distressing, whatever, right? Because you don't want to be laying there in bed till 5 in the morning thinking, well, is this person getting piped? Is she doing blow? Is she getting piped while she's doing blow? Is she getting, what,
she is.
What, and undoubtedly all of those things were happening. But so off the back of that, now I would not be in a relationship with somebody who wanted to do that. Now, that's not to say that I believe that a woman shouldn't be allowed to work in a restaurant and go out and party with their colleagues afterwards. That's absolutely fine. Everybody's free to do what they want. I personally wouldn't want to be in that sort of relationship again, because that's just not something I want to be involved with. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm talking about, boundaries.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Was it repetitive? Or was it like a one-time thing, like she'll go out with her?
With her? No, I mean, listen, this was many years ago. I was drinking too much myself. I didn't really understand these dynamics. I was very needy at that point as well. I'd gone through this period where I was sort of figuring this stuff out, and I allowed stuff to happen that shouldn't really have happened. I shouldn't have remained in that relationship, because as it turned out, it was very bad for me. It was very toxic and all the rest of it. But that's not a mistake I would seek to repeat. Right. So if then I met somebody else and they kind of wanted to have that sort of dynamic, that's just not something I would tolerate. I just, okay, that's fine, that's your life, but I'm gonna go and find someone else, because that's just not what I'm about.
Cool. All right, so we'll move on. What are your thoughts on that? Disagree, agree?
My answer is still the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they should break up.
All right.
Yeah, my answer is still the same too.
Still the same?
Yeah, it just comes down to preference, honestly.
Okay.
So.
I just feel like with relationships, you need this open line of communication as boundaries go and all of that before you even get involved. So if that was said case, then, you wouldn't really be worrying about this. I feel like in this particular case, obviously, like he either didn't trust her to, go on these trips or whatever, but whatever the case may be, like, I feel like he should have already set those standards, like when they got together.
Ding.
So then had they done that, then, he wouldn't even be questioning, like, should I break up with her? Like, she should already know, like, okay, I shouldn't be doing this. And, or if she was with someone who didn't mind, whatever, then it would be different. But had they already set those boundaries, then there would be no confusion. So,
okay.
And I think as well, you don't even necessarily need to sit down. It's like Andrew Tate was saying on here the other day. It doesn't need to be you sit down and you're like, right, this is what I expect, and you're sort of writing out a contract. Nowadays, in my dynamic, when I date women, they kind of just know from the vibe that there are certain things that I'm just going to see as, I'm just going to not really be into, she's not going to stay out all night if she's staying with me. She just kind of knows that. Now, if she does, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to complain, but we're just not going to see each other anymore. We're not going to see each other the same way. And I think that's what Tate was saying when he was on here the other day. It's not about laying down the law, but it is about, I've got certain standards. I've got certain things that I want. And if you don't adhere to that, then that's fine.
Yeah, no harm, no foul. Like nobody's upset. It's just that, hey, if you regularly engage in activities that put our relationship at risk, then
like
I can't
getting
swim
piped
with you anymore.
Yeah.
If you're getting piped regularly and you're doing blow,
or getting piped while doing blow through a pipe,
or somebody doing pipe.
That's crack.
Oh shit! That is
How do you know that?
What?
How do you know that?
What do you mean?
420.
Dare, baby, dare.
One of my homeboys, what had happened, he had told me.
All right. What about you? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the man sets the dynamic of the relationship, and he should set that up early on, just in how he acts and how he approaches things with his girl. And I feel like if he has made it clear to her that that's not something he's comfortable with, and she's planning the trip anyways, that's reason enough to break up with her. Okay. But if it's something that you didn't really establish early on in the relationship, then she didn't really know otherwise to do otherwise.
And I think that's what Donovan was saying earlier, ladies, is that he doesn't date women that do that, and he lets them know that up front that this is unacceptable behavior. So for her to still want to do it tells you what you need to know.
I don't tell him that it's unacceptable behavior. It's just the kind of behavior that like I've been dumped plenty of times, and not even to my face. If she goes to the club, I guess she dumped me.
Okay.
So this is how that works.
Fair enough. What about you, Chi-Town? Agree, disagree?
He said
does it change your view on it? No?
Okay, so this is like what I feel about it. Like when you set standards, you know how you are when you're single, you know how you are when in a relationship. For me, I'll go out and go to clubs, but what are you really going out for? I don't go out without a table, and I'm not gonna fuck these guys. But it's still like that disrespect of being around random ass men getting drunk.
Yeah.
What are you staying out to 3, 4, 5 a.m. for if you have a guy at home or a girl, whatever? You're
so are you changing your mind?
Something. I mean, I don't think they should break up. I mean, you have a conversation and then move forward. But I feel like, okay, you know what? Yeah, you should break up.
Okay.
Because
there we go.
Because the mentality won't change. She may change her answers for a second, just like appease what a woman should feel like. But at the end of the day, like, how to explain it? I don't know. I like dancing, but why would? And it's Cancun in Atlanta.
All right.
You could go to Wyoming and have a girls trip.
Listen.
What you gonna do in Wyoming?
Listen, 13 people live in Wyoming. Ain't nobody going out.
Yeah. Right. All right. What about you, Lovely? What's your thoughts on this? I know you had some.
No comment.
You okay? No comment.
Oh,
and then Venezuela.
Lovely.
She asked her question and just said, "Fuck it." All right.
Yeah, like if she told you like, hey, I'm going to Cancun with my friends, yeah, you're already breaking up.
That's
like,
right.
Okay. So a question for you, just because I want to kind of get your, because I can see that you disagree very strongly with his points, and he was trying to explain you something about leverage, and I don't think you might have not understood it. I have a question for you, just to see where you kind of stand on this. What percentage of men do you think are 6'2" and earn, let's say, $500,000 a year or more?
More.
I would say probably like 20% out of 100.
Okay. So, and this is why that was so important for me to ask that question. So
funny you should say that, Myron, because those are my metrics.
Yeah. So, and I want to say that just so you can know. So, only about 1% of the U.S. population earns $450,000 a year or more. That puts you in the top 1%. And then on top of that, that's all earners: men, women, gay dudes, lesbians, dudes that are ugly, dudes that are short, old men, etc. So, a guy that meets that metric that's also of a certain height. And then we haven't even gotten into personality, being actually understanding how to be attractive to women, whatever. It's a very small percentage. We're talking about less than 0.5% of the U.S. population. So what he was simply trying to say is that, no, it's not 20%. It's more like 0.5% meets these metrics. Now, beautiful women are common. Men of that status are not. So if something is rare, who has the leverage?
The rare commodity.
That's what he was trying to explain. And I think, and that's not your fault because, you're 19. So like you might not know that, but 20% of the U.S. population doesn't even earn $100,000 a year.